cat, we start by the endocrine system. You can easily demonstrate. This is the trachea, and just anteriorly located to the trachea, we have the thyroid gland. You know, the thyroid gland is a butterfly shape, two lobes with a connecting isthmus. The isthmus is opposite the second, the third, and fourth tracheal rings. These are the tracheal rings. Second, third, and fourth, you should find the thyroid gland located there. Of course, parathyroid is back to it. In the cat, is very difficult to find such kind. Next to that, thymus gland. Thymus gland, this is the sternum. It's located back to the sternum. What function? Production of a hormone called thymosin. It's for T cell production. Next to that, if that is the heart, we need just only to figure out the covering sheet, which is the pericardium in her hand. And then if we do a longitudinal cut in the heart, nothing could be easily seen. It's a very small, tiny heart, so we cannot follow up. Next, I need to follow up the diaphragm, which is the muscle between the thorax and the abdomen. Before we go to the abdominal cavity, we need to demonstrate the two lungs. The two lungs, the right lung and the left lung. In the cat, there are more than 3 to 5 lobes each. In the human, we have 3 lobes in the right lung and 2 lobes in the left lung. Would you show them this? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. There are so many. Okay? This is the right lung. Left lung is the same, but it should be missing 1. Why 4? The heart to be there. Can you see this shallow depression? It should be for the heart. Now we go to the abdominal cavity. The first thing you are going to demonstrate is the liver. How many lobes of the liver? There are many, like 5 lobes. In the human, we have 4 lobes. We'll demonstrate it when we have the GI. And then on the inferior surface of the liver, you should demonstrate the gallbladder. The gallbladder. Greenish small sac. This is the gallbladder. Okay? And then, how to identify the GIT? The easy way is to start retrograde. So we go from the bottom line, from the anus, and then follow up to the rectum, descending colon, yes, transverse colon, very short period, the transverse, and then ascending colon, and then you switch the intestine, whatever place like that, and here you go, the end. Where is the end of the small intestine and the start of the large intestine? So the first piece of this large intestine is the cecum. Where is the cecum? Yes. And you can also demonstrate, what's the last piece of the small intestine? Ileum. So that area will be named ileocecal junction. From the ileum to the cecum. Ileocecal junction. It has a valve guarding this. We can demonstrate the appendix. Could be seen. Could it be seen? It's in the angle between these two areas. I think this is the appendix. It's different in location. Appendix, even in human, I had it in 5 different sites. It differs from one patient to another. So that is the appendix. Now we'd like to follow up to the stomach. The key for the stomach is the greater omentum. Where is the greater omentum destructive lady? Yes, here you go. It's a sheet of fatty tissue like that, and it should be attached to the greater curve of the stomach. Yes, here you go. You have the stomach has a greater curve and a lesser curve, a small one. So attached to the greater curve is the greater omentum, which is this one. Where is the lesser curve, please, Diane? Where is the lesser curve? On the inside. On the inside. Yeah, this one. You have a small piece of omentum attached to it called lesser omentum. Yes, this one. Lesser omentum. And then we need to expose the small intestine. Lift up the stomach. The first piece of the small intestine is called duodenum. Duodenum, it's a C-shaped area. In the concavity of that C shape, we can find the pancreas, one of the main endocrine glands. Can you find the pancreas? Yes, can you see it? It's a totally different kind of texture and shape of tissue like that. And running on the upper border of the pancreas, you can see the splenic artery which is gonna end at the hilum of the spleen. Where is the spleen? Here you go, that's a spleen. What's the function of the spleen? It's a blood reservoir. So it should have a huge artery going inside the hilum of the spleen. Parts of the small intestine, the first part is duodenum. Next to it is going to be named jejunum. The few loops next to the duodenum, and then the last loops are going to be named ileum, where they end into the large intestine. Okay, so that is about the small intestine and the large intestine. Let's go for the urinary system. We have the two kidneys on the flanks. Each is fixed in place by what we call it perinephric fat. Nephric means kidney in Latin, so peri means from outside. So the kidney is fixed in position by this amount of fat. On top of the kidney, you can find the adrenal gland or the suprarenal gland. The kidney has a hilum. Coming down from the hilum is the ureter, which is a tube going down. It's abnormally located in this kidney. It should be coming from the inner side, but it's abnormally located. And this is a guide to the urinary bladder. It opens in the back of the urinary bladder. This is in her hand, is the urinary bladder. It's a cavity that can afford the urine. Can you see the other ureter running on the other side? Here you go. So have a very clearly dissected urinary system in this cat. This is a female cat, so we can also find the two ovaries, one on each side, and the uterus should be in the back of the urinary bladder, which is not clear in this cat. These are all systems you need to know in this second half of your semester.